Hello everyone. Welcome to a new episode of Art Feedback. And today we're going to take a look at Emanuele's artwork. And he's part of our community on Discord, and he asked if I had any feedback on his painting. He's trying to learn environments, so I'm glad to be able to do this and just provide a little bit of feedback and guidance. First of all, I want to say that, I really appreciate what he's trying to do with the study. Like, the color of the sky is really beautiful. Like, I don't necessarily think we have to stick to the photo reference one-to-one when we're doing studies. So I think in this case, the violet is really beautiful. And yeah, I know you guys probably already know that violet is one of my favorite colors. So I'm definitely biased there, but I really appreciate it. And then I enjoyed this fact that there is light streaming across the landscape. Like, we get a sense that there is sunlight. It's something that we don't get in the reference. So I think that is also a very good choice. But let's take a look. Let's see how we can improve this. So the first thing that I like to start from is, what is this painting about? Even if it's a study, what it is that we want to focus on, what it is that we want to convey. And I think in this case, the sense of space and this mountain is definitely the most important element in our painting. So we want to make sure to always keep that in mind. Sense of space, emphasis on this mountain that sort of like dominate our landscape. Awesome. So now that we know that, let's take it step by step. I would say the first thing that I want to do, let's take a look at the sky. Right now, I'm feeling that it's a little bit empty. You could use some clouds, and that would be beneficial because, they create a sense of movement. They can help us guide the eye through the painting, and, they can frame the mountains, and they can also justify shadows on the ground. Because if we have a clear sky, then we will need to justify those shadows in another way. So let's start by painting some clouds. Right, you see that I also try to keep it pretty loose because we don't want to, even when making like nice cloud formation, like puffy clouds, we still don't want these to take away too much from the mountains. We sort of want them to work in tandem, like work together in the picture. We don't want the cloud to become the main attraction, so we want to be a little bit careful trying to balance things out. Okay, so the second thing that I do want to look at is the shape of the mountains, because right now it's looking a little soft. We sort of get this billowy form on it, and that gives us a general sense of how it is, but I think it would be nice to get a little bit more of sharp shapes against light and dark with more defined contrast. So let's try to do that. Let's define the shapes of the mountain. Let's give it a little bit more of a jagged edge and see if we can get it to work. Alrighty, so just, you see, we tried to define a little bit more the shapes of this mountain. So we get a clearer sense of form and definition without it being excessively soft, right? And another very important thing I would say is, let's make sure that, since the mountain is the most important thing here in this piece, let's make sure that we don't spend too much space over this empty ground, because we have the fields, we have the trees, but I think we can lower the horizon line, make it lower, and I think we're just going to shorten the canvas a little vertically, reduce the height, so we have a little bit more space for the mountain and a little bit less for the ground, because this piece is all about this mountain, right? We don't want it. We don't want this road here to take away from our beautiful mountain. So what I'm going to do for now is just to maybe we can also merge these downs and make sure that we don't have any extra here. And then I'm just gonna distort the depth of the painting. Ready? That's cool. And we're going to erase right here at the bottom because we need it. And of course, we're not gonna correct. Yes. Okay, cool. So the next aspect that I really wanna focus on is that all those trees and the fields and stuff, we got rid of some of that, but we still need to communicate that there is a little bit of depth. And a very important aspect of that, of course, is taking into account atmosphere and pushing things back. In general, we also want to play with temperature a little bit more, because all of these colors kind of stay the same. Like, they don't vary that much in temperature, and that's what makes for dull colors. If you repeat the same sort of hues throughout, there is no change. We end up with boring colors, so we don't want to do that. So let's try to make these, little foresty trees slightly more interesting. Right, and now that we added in some, color variety and some trees here and there, I think we need to address this cast shadow, because it's a very cool thing, but we don't have a way to justify that right now, because it's very strong, it's very sharp and defined. So it almost feels like there is a building there off screen just casting a shadow. And that could be, but it's a little bit difficult to understand this, beautiful natural environment. So I think we could go back to what we said in the beginning and use the idea of, clouds maybe blocking some of the light, but that means that, they're far away, they're soft, so the shadow might need to be a little more soft. We can try that, see what happens if we make it a little bit more soft, and then we contrast with some stronger warm lighting in there. Right, so you can see that I also had a little bit more of that nice violet environment light to the street, and also a little bit to the trees, just because we want to bring everything more together, right? Because there is this strong environment, so of course it's going to influence all of the colors. Alright, now I think I just want to add a little bit of an indication of these bigger trees in the foreground, right? And then maybe a little bit of a lighting effect, but that's gonna be it. So let's try to do that, see what happens. Alrighty, yeah, I'm not a fan of painting trees like this. I scratch like so many details. Like I would have to find a better texture brush to just sprinkle this noise up here, but you know, this will have to do. So I think right now the only thing that I just want to do is slightly tweak this clouds. It's bothering me a little, not too much, but just because now this tree covered this cloud, I want to make sure that we get a bit of form. And this, it feels like it's a little bigger and still brings some movement. Right, and to finish things off, I think we can simply make a new layer, maybe in soft light. Too strong, and see if we can bring a little warm tones in the light. Is not too strong, just a little. Gotta love a little bit of glow. Always tempted to add more than I should. Okay, and then maybe we can bring all shadows, just making it a little bit more intense. Right? It's got a little bit gray. Make sure that it feels like there is more atmosphere there in the back. And a bit like glowing through the trees. Cool. Awesome. And that's it. We can see a little before and after. Just to reiterate on all the changes that we made. So you can see, just taking it step by step, take a look and see what you can change about it. Doesn't have to be like drastic changes, but you know, a little bit here, a little bit there ends up quite a substantial change. So I hope this was useful, and if you guys want your artwork reviewed, please join our Discord community or send me an email at the address that you can find in the comment of this video. I hope this was useful and insightful, even if this was not your painting. Thank you so much for checking this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.